What up, everyone? Brothers Grin here. I got a
What it
short one.
do?
I just want to elaborate on it, though. We got a lot of male viewers, and it pertains to you guys. My brother and I have grown up in different atmospheres through our teen years, so we have contrasting experiences with this. But this is an Ask Reddit post. Do you think confidence is learned or it's innate, and why? For guys, confidence, for me, I didn't grow up with our father for the length of time that you did. My male role models growing up were mom's weirdo boyfriends. They want to go to Renaissance festivals and dress up as knights, and they're over here like, I want to drink meat and eat beer bread or something like that. And I'm like, okay, that has really no real world application on. If anything, they're teaching me how not to talk to women.
Yeah.
And
Not
how
shit
not to
fools.
engage was.
I said
I
not
mean,
shit
they're
ass fools.
nice dudes, but they're nerdy dudes. I'm a nerdy dude. Granted, it's kind of masked by who I am as an adult, but I grew up reading comic books, freaking watching anime, all that kind of stuff. And
But we don't
not that
we don't
that's gone
we don't
away. I don't buy comic
yeah,
books.
we
I like
don't
to read
portray
comic
that
books,
kind
but
of persona though. I don't go out and be like, oh, anime
yeah,
this,
no,
anime
not at all.
that.
Not at all.
We're Samurai X t-shirts and shit. And I love anime. I mean, I watch it almost every day, but it's not who I
Dude,
am, you know?
I don't think either of us broadcast our hobbies outside of a mountain bike, and this is probably the only graphic T-shirt I own. But I would say it's learned. Sometimes it's innate, but I think it's innate if a man grows up with a strong male figure in his life. You definitely can talk. You were able to talk to women easier than I ever was able to when we were younger, teen years or 20s. I think a lot of my confidence that I have gained by being able to talk to the opposite sex and be comfortable came from being a bartender for so long and learning things and getting out of my comfort zone. And it wasn't due to having a male role model in my life. It was due to being in scenarios and situations where I had to make decisions. Do I want to talk to these girls? How do I go about it? Being at the bar, that was a big thing because people were able to get to know me through frequenting the place of my employment, and I was there and I felt comfortable because I never came to the bar. I worked there,
Yeah.
I had a task, I had a job. I wasn't going to the bar I know you came to my bar. Freaking I know I'm very aware of that crap, but dude, stupid. It's fucking stupid, bro.
Chico?
You're dear God, dude. But in some of the comments are very back and forth on this post. It's not like they're worth reading in the sense of like explanation wise, but they're like, some people are, oh, it's learned, and some people are, no, it's something you're born with. And I don't think it's really something you're born with necessarily.
Yeah, I don't think you're born with
like we're
confidence.
all born with the urge to procreate and be with the opposite sex for sure. That's
yeah, but you hear stories all the time. I mean, there's dudes out there and I'm not judging guys' looks and shit like that, but I mean, there's guys out there that are decent looking dudes, have great jobs, but they really have, and friends of mine and stuff, they have real trouble talking to the opposite sex because they think of their self-worth way lower than what it really is, or they just get super nervous or put their foot in the mouth or what. For me, with being with our father, I mean, he was just a real womanizer. I mean, long story short, he had tons of girls in and out his whole life, and that's all it was.
That's what I'm saying.
But I think for me, it was more military with all my military buddies and stuff, like seeing how they act, the confidence they portrayed, and being in the military gave me confidence.
You had like that pack mentality confidence, which is not a bad thing either. Sometimes
just in the beginning, though,
like you need your boys.
Yeah, but like you see me when I came back from the military and I was into race cars and stuff like that, and after that, I've never had a problem, even now, like talking or public speaking, or I don't get nervous, or I don't get nothing like that, dude. I mean, I can be, like I said, naked and talk in front of the world and not give two shits. I mean, my life's going to continue on, so I don't.
But I don't think you wouldn't be nervous in that. I think you rationalize the fact that you don't give a shit.
Yeah.
Like there's still going to be a nervousness, and I want to convey that to the people watching. Like, it's okay to be nervous.
Yeah.
Helps you focus on task at hand. Like you're like, okay, so you're not like some people, they'll get nervous and be blubbering freaking idiots. or some people will get nervous and then lock in. And
practice makes
you know
perfect,
that
though, man. Think
there's
if you're going to go into a cold situation like that and you're going to talk to a girl, I mean, if you give yourself the 5-second rule, think about what you're going to say for 5 seconds and then say it. Or, I was watching this bodybuilder podcast the other day, and this guy was working out at a gym, and he goes, I was so nervous to talk to girls, so nervous this whole time, even though I was big and ripped and a huge dude. I mean, he's 300 pounds ripped guy now, but he goes, I just figured if made it my goal to talk to every girl I saw. He was working as like delivering carpets. I guess what's that company called that delivers the carpets to businesses and stuff. And he goes, every time I walked in, I made sure I talked to the girl, tried to tell her a joke. And that really opened up my perspective of just another person that I can talk to. So I think that would help in the long run.
Confidence in those engagements is kind of interesting. Like, I remember being so sorry. Freaking good Lord.
That is the gayest chime I've ever heard. Ding.
I'm trying for it not to be abrasive. So.
And by gay, I mean the old English version of Merry and Happy.
My God. I was at the gym one time, and I was talking to this guy. It was me and my buddy Nico. You remember Nico? He used to work with us. It was Nico and I working out together. And this is right when we first started working out. And this guy starts talking to us, and he's a built dude. He's jacked. He looks good and stuff. But I think he was like maybe 5'9". And we start talking about working out. And halfway through the conversation about working out, he's like, it really doesn't matter. And I was like, what do you mean? He's like, it doesn't matter how big I get or how muscular I am. I'm short. Girls want tall dudes. They could be out of shape as long as they're tall. And I don't fully believe that.
And 5'9" is average for the United States, I think.
I mean,
pretty sure it's average height.
We see it all the time on the internet. Freaking, does good, has money. He's 5'8". Maybe I'll go on a date with them.
6 figures.
Who is it? Yeah. 6 foot, lives with his mom, ex-con, freaking, hello, how we doing? Come on over. I'll help you out. I'll fix you. That's a weird mentality. I don't quite understand it for sure. But when that guy was telling me that stuff, I was like, damn, we don't think it, but we've always been tall. We're tall people. That's never been a concern of mine about being too short or being a short guy. And I always found that incredibly funny too, because after he told me that, because that's kind of silly to think about your height as an issue, but that's a real reality for some people.
A lot of the bodybuilding stuff I watch, and mostly I watch it so I can learn new techniques and lifting and all that stuff for my progression. Plus it's kind of cool, and now I've got into it and I know a lot of the guys, but a lot of them have that body dysmorphia. They'll be like, oh, I'm small. They're not happy unless they're pumped, or if they're overweight because they're bulking or so. And I'm like, dude, you are huge. You're big as a house. You're ripped. I dream of being fucking that yoked, and they're over here like, no, I'm tiny. It's how you see yourself, man. The guy I watch, Sam, he talks about it all the time. He's like, you don't need to put yourself down mentally like that. You need to understand when you go in the gym and you're lifting and you're pumped. That's what you look like when you're pumped. This is what you look like when you wake up. There's different stages of the day, man. Just take it and roll on. You're not always going to be freaking as big as you want to be. I mean, you always want to be bigger. There's always going to be somebody bigger. You just got to be happy in your own skin when it comes down to it. Recognize that, back to the confidence thing, recognize that, you're shit. Don't try to sit here and act a certain way because you're in a group and they're talking about something you don't know, because then you don't come off as confident. Make sure what you're going to say is legit. And roll on, So, but yeah, it's definitely a different way to look at it.
I feel like I feel like a lot of it too is about who you're choosing, man. Are you trying to shoot after that high maintenance girl that's going to make you feel like crap if you don't have enough money, don't have the nicest clothes? Or are you going to shoot after that low hanging fruit where you're hanging out and that maybe it goes by a couple months and this girl kind of dirty, or she doesn't have the best habits, or it really depends.
You want that
in
quality,
my opinion, and it's strictly just my opinion. It's not the reality necessarily, because there is no reality of one specific type of like dynamic. We see dudes all the time, not ugly dudes, but maybe they're a 7 and they got a 9, or somebody they're dating above themselves, but that person loves them or likes them for their confidence. And back to the post, in a sense, I think it's learned, and I think it's ingrained in some people depending on upbringing or their perspective on what they take and acknowledge growing up, for sure.
Yeah. A lot of it has to be in the upbringing.
But also
You got parents that are putting you down all the time.
You can always refine yourself, boys.
You want to be with friends that lift you up, not bring you down, man. You are who you hang around with. Remember that. I fully believe that. And
well,
I did better when I stopped hanging around with a bunch of guys like that,
Yeah, you can always refine yourself, gentlemen. You can always self-reflect, dial it in, lock in, and then move forward in a different step.
And time's not going to stop. So don't be scared to try something new, see how that goes, and see if it works for you, Dressing different, dressing better.
What's the worst a girl can say to you? No.
And you're right where you were in the beginning. Yeah.
Yeah. No different. And like if you don't mentally take it hard and make it a negative thing, you could be like, okay, I fired a shot, I missed. Let me aim better next time.
Yeah.
Let me aim better next time.
Figure it out.
So, all right, boys, till next time.
We'll see y'all later.
Later.